listening area. We send prayers of faith, hope, safety, and restoration to all of our families and friends. And know that we are praying for you and your families, because when you hurt, we hurt also. We are one body. 1 Corinthians 12:12 says, just as a body, though one has many parts, but all its many parts form one body, so is it with Christ. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore encourage one another and build up one another, just as you are doing. Brothers and sisters, this is a time that we need to be on our knees for our brothers and sisters. It's not a time to be selfish, because people are hurting and we should be building up each other. Our duty is to build up each other in Christ. And we here at Praise FM 96, Merle 96.7, and M&M Broadcasting, we don't take our duty lightly. So we're going to build up each other in this day and time, because we need each and every person to know that everyone is important. You know, there's a lot of fear going around right now, but fear is a natural response to challenges or the unknown, and an emotion that serves a valuable purpose. Think fight or flight response, but it can quickly become unhealthy when it paralyzes us and propels us into frantic behavior. Negative outcomes aside, the Bible actually commands us to do not be afraid. In fact, there are over 300 variations of the command, fear not, throughout the scriptures. As Christians, we don't need to fear, because we know God is in control. God is on his throne, meaning nothing else is. Not a diagnosis, unmet expectation, or uncertain future. He alone has all the power and all the authority, and nothing can threaten that. This means when fear creeps in, we believers are called to take our fear and sift it through his unfailing love. So brothers and sisters, please remember, for he said, I would never leave you nor forsake you. So we can confidently say, the Lord is my helper. I will not fear. What can man do to me? Hebrews 13:5. You must remember, brothers and sisters, to cast your cares upon him, because God, he cares for you. And if you or anyone that you know is helping the displaced families with food, drinking water, clothing, temporary shelter, etc., please let us know, and we will get the word out to our listening families and friends. Please call 865-577-4885. Someone will take your information. Remember, we are all in this together. Teamwork makes the dream work. We love you, East Tennessee, and we're praying for you. We are going to pull together, because we are called to uplift each other in such a time as this. Remember, there's a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS.
Where can you buy a brand new Nissan with a lifetime warranty? Kingston Pike. Hey folks, Gerald Anderson with Ted Russell Nissan. You heard it right. Every new Ted Russell Nissan comes with a lifetime warranty, and that's a long, long time. Ted Russell Nissan on Kingston Pike.
Good morning and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 866 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. How are you on this, what is it, Wednesday morning? Yeah. Hump day, second day of October. Can you believe it? We are rolling. I'm telling you. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Hey, Tracy and I got to go and tour Aspire Park and have dinner at the new restaurant, The Pearl, last night. It was really, really nice. And thank Joe Hollingsworth Jr. for inviting us and having us. There were a number of folks who were invited. There's a bunch of people there. And I think everybody enjoyed it as much as we did. It's a beautiful facility. It's going to be amazing. They hired 9 different trail developers. Each one mapped out, designed a trail, and they kind of competed with each other. So it's not like one guy made 9 trails and it's all his vision. There are 9 different trails, 9 different ideas of what trails should be, and 9 different designs. It's cool. Hundreds of miles of trails. I think it's 370 acres. There's a boat launch for canoes and stuff like that, kayaks. Just a amazing facility. It opens to the public on Sunday, and I urge you go down and walk it if you like to ride your bikes. They've got the bike trails. One of the areas was designed by Red Bull, and they did it specifically for Red Bull competitions that they are going to host there. So already international participation. That's pretty cool. So again, thanks Joe and all of his staff for having us, Tracy and I, and a lot of other folks that got to go. And the food was fantastic. And it's reasonably priced. It's comparable to, say, Calhoun's as far as pricing. Very reasonably priced, very good service, very, nice atmosphere. I urge you to go. I think a lot of people looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, it's going to be $100 a dinner. It's not. I think I had sirloin steak, and potato, has coleslaw. I think it's $24. So that's not bad. Not bad for a steak. And it was a big steak. Food, there was, the portions were good. So we can all afford it. That's the good thing. You can, if you eat at O'Charlie's or somewhere like that, it's Applebee's, Calhoun's, it's kind of on that as far as pricing, So I know a lot of folks were, probably gun shy about going, thinking it was going to be exceptionally expensive, and that it's not. And the food is good. Service is good. They're probably a little bit anxious trying to get things ready for for Sunday. But so try it out Sunday for dinner. You'll like it. And it's a pretty diverse menu as well. There you go. It was fun. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate you having us. Good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor this morning.
Good morning there,
Hey.
Mr. Meredith there. Clinton, Tennessee's newest food critic.
Hey, it was good. It really was. It was. Tracy had the pork chop, and I had steak, and it was good. Very good.
Did you guys get to order whatever you wanted, or they have a certain menu to pick off?
No, they gave us a menu, whatever we wanted. Open bar.
Oh gosh,
everything.
Way to go, Joe.
Yeah, no.
Now what is I know I looked over that menu, and I love a good spinach dip. And
the spinach dip. Tracy loved the spinach dip.
And she said, and I said, I can't wait to try out the spinach dip and a good cocktail. And she said, spinach dip was really good, and try the Pearl.
The drink.
So is that a drink?
It is. They've got a drink called the Pearl. They've got, Joe does everything. We went in just like a restaurant. They they seated us, gave us a menu and all that. But then what they did, they took all the appetizers and they made them and they put them up on the bar. So you could just go get whatever appetizer that you wanted. So, of course, I tried 4 or 5 different ones. Tracy did the same thing. And they were all delicious. They had like pimento cheese fried balls. They were good. I had some wings. She had the spinach dip. She had something else too. What else she had? I can't remember. But no, it was all good.
Well, I'd heard somebody that actually, they bragged on the spinach dip, and they also said that the pork chop was really good too. But
yep.
I saw where you said you just got you didn't get the filet, you just got the sirloin, and you said it was really good.
Oh yeah, I got the it's called the Chef's Cut sirloin, and it was I got it medium, and it was delicious. I mean, it was delicious. The pork chop, the chef come out and was talking to us. I think he said they marinated that. I want to say he said in sweet tea for 24 hours, and then they cook it, and then it's glazed in this honey stuff. I don't know. It was good. You just have to try it. I was talking to Joe. I asked him, I said, Joe, how did you come up with the menu? And he said that they just spent a lot of time trying to put together, the menu, because I didn't realize this. It makes sense, though. That first you get the menu, then you have to buy the equipment to cook whatever it is going to be on your menu. I would have thought you just bought a stove and you're ready to go. But no, depending on your menu, depends on the equipment that you have to have. But he said
I didn't realize that. But yeah, I guess it makes sense.
It does. So he said that they just put together, what they thought. Well, not necessarily what they thought, but based on where they went, and the different places they looked, and what was good and what was not. And he just took the best of the best of the best from the places that they went to look at in over 50 or 60 different parks and restaurants, and just made it part of his. It's cool.
And I also thought I saw where somebody may have commented, said that they eventually are going to even expand the menu a little more.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I mean, right now it's very well rounded. I mean, there's something on there. I think everybody, something for everybody's on there. Like I had French fries with my steak, and I had coleslaw. Meat, potatoes, and coleslaw. Just
can't go wrong with that.
No, and so it was very, very good, very good.
I know that. I don't know if he made mention of it or what there last night. Is people going to have to make reservations to start with?
You know what? I don't know. He did not say. I don't. So that's a very good question. I don't know. I'll see if I can find that out. I encourage folks to go try it out, though. It's like I said, it's reasonably priced, because as they were building it, and you look at that building, and if they get the opportunity, they walk you through it. It's got the building itself. It's got the restaurant part. Then it's got a bar in it that Joe designed himself. What's it called? My goodness. The Flask. It's called the Flask. And it's he did it like an old 20s speakeasy kind of thing. And it is like between two areas that can be used for restaurant overflow, or the rooms can be rented for like corporate space if you want to have a party or something like that. It's really cool. But when you look at it, when you approach the building and you see all the stuff and everything that he's put into it, you just assume it's going to be a high-priced meal, but it's not. It's very comparable with. Again, I'll go to Calhoun's. I'd say price-wise, it's same as Calhoun's.
But do they have? Are they going to have an outdoor facility there where you can dine sitting outside?
Oh yeah, they've got numerous outdoor facilities. They've got numerous places too that you can rent or reserve for weddings outside. They've got. It's just, you'll have to go and see it. But they've got overflow outside. They've got outside patio that's got furniture and tables and chairs and that. It's everything you can think of. He's got.
Well, that place it's got to be bigger than just what it appears from the road. Then
it's huge. It really is. You can't see from the road behind it, but you can look over. You can see down where the boat launch is, and I think he's got like 15 or 20 dressing room bathrooms down at the boat launch for people to, get bathroom, change clothes, whatever. Kayak storage. It's just impressive, all that he's thought of. And everything that they did, the materials that they used, were all materials that will last at least 100 years.
Oh, wow.
And the park, the foundation, has been set up and funded so that it will be funded and operate for 100 years.
Well, that place is going to be there for some time then.
and they're already talking about adding cabins, talking about adding, again, the Mike guy that runs it, he says, if you know Joe, he's not going to stop. He's going to keep adding stuff and adding stuff. So they're already, it's not even open yet. They're already talking about the expansions.
So down there at the water now, is that just kayaks, canoes?
Yep. Kayaks, canoes, fishing. They got a pier for fishing and stuff like that.
Oh, well, that water in that part of the river, I think that'd be kind of swift going down through that.
It wasn't.
You get in there, you better hang off.
He's right in the bend. He's put it right in the bend, and the current didn't look that strong at all last night. But the current in the clinch, especially now with the dam open and flowing, is there's always a good current in there. You can tell when you're fishing because your bobber goes right down the river.
Oh yeah, no doubt there. So. Well, good. And what time did you guys get out of there?
We left. We went in. Our reservations were he asked us to be there at 5, and then they took and we toured the park and we ate. We got home at 8 o'clock. We wanted to watch the debate. We thought it was at 8, not 9. And then there was another group that came in. I don't know. Probably we were already at dinner, so they probably came in at 6:30 maybe. Rex was there, Sheriff was there, Representative Reagan was there, Dave Crowley, Tom Wheeler. There was just a bunch of people that came in and joined us.
You guys have to fill out or answer a questionnaire.
No, but they came by. Joe came by and talked to everybody and wanted to know about the food. Like when my steak came. He was like, Ron, cut that open. Make sure it's done the way you want it. I want to see. So I cut it open. I was like, yeah, it's done. He was, he's just making sure everything was right. And then Brenda came by, talked to us. The sous chef came by, and the chef came by and talked to us, to everybody, not just me, but they went around to everybody, and they said, please tell us. Like Tracy said, he was like, he actually came out and he asked Tracy, he was like, what was wrong with your pork chop? And she was like, nothing. But she didn't eat it all, It was huge. So,
oh, yeah, but just maybe a little too much of it.
yeah, and so, but she was like, but I will tell you this, I've never seen pork that was pink inside. So she said, I don't know anything about it, but I've never seen pork that was pink inside. And then that's when he started explaining to us how they did it, and they marinated it in something. I'm going to say sweet tea. I'm almost positive that's what he said, about my hearing it and what it used to be. But he went through the process of how they marinate it and then how long they cook it and all that stuff. Explained it to us. But no, they said, please tell us anything. You won't hurt our feelings. We're not, we are here to listen to you guys. This is all so we can get everything ready for Sunday. So
I know that I like my steaks. I used to be a medium, but I've switched to medium rare now. I just like it a little bit more medium rare now than medium.
I do mine medium well usually. So I just tried medium yesterday. I don't know why, but I'm medium well. It just depends on the mood I'm in.
Was it a little bit pink?
It was a little bit pink. It was perfect. Absolutely, positively perfect. You couldn't have got any better.
Good deal then. So they sound like they really took care of you guys.
They did. Joe was like, hey, get something and take home with you if you want to. Whatever. But we ended up, they have cotton candy as one of the desserts. So we took a cotton candy dessert home to Demi, and she enjoyed it. It was great. I mean, Joe knows how to do this kind of stuff. He's good at it, and he's generous with it too. I mean, very generous. But he wanted the feedback, and he knew everybody. He knew everybody there, and I think that he trusted that we'd tell him the truth.
Oh, well, good then. So I take it that you don't have your boys this week?
I get them Friday, and we leave Friday. I'm picking them up from school, and then we're headed to the condo. Me and Tracy, Demi, and the boys. I've got to go down through Atlanta, so it's going to take, normally it takes me, if I'm driving and it's just Ron, I've done it in 5 hours in my Corvette. But if it's me and the family, it's usually about a 7-hour trip, right? Because we stop and all this stuff.
You got to stop and get snacks and bathroom breaks and all the above.
Exactly. But now we've got to go down through Atlanta. It's going to be about a 10, maybe 11-hour trip. So we've got to go to Atlanta and then cut across because 40 is completely closed. 26 is not there. I think there's about 4 miles of I-26. It's gone.
Yeah, no kidding.
Unicoi County Bridge is gone. I mean, I don't know how long it'll take before they get that fixed.
Are they on fall break next week?
Yep. They are on fall break next week, and I've got them for fall break. First time I've had them for fall break in 4 years. So.
Oh, well, good.
I've told all the kids. I bribed the kids because I told them, I said, this is what I'm going to do. I took a picture last night of 3 $100 bills. I said, this is what we're going to do. If everybody's ready on time to leave Friday, if everybody, we don't have any drama, no arguing during the trip, everybody's, because it's going to be a long trip. We're all going to be in the car for 10 or 12 hours, so I don't want no fussing.
You're paying them off.
That's exactly what I'm doing. I said, if everybody, well, you know what? When they get there, they're going to be, hey, Dad, buy me a Coke. Dad, do this. I'm going to give them their money and say, here's your money for the week. So I said, if everybody is on their best behavior and we don't have any problems, when we arrive at the beach, I'll give each of you this money for your, for you do whatever you want to do with it. You can save it. You can spend it. You can do whatever you want to. It's your money. And then I me and Tracy ask each one of them to try and pick something special that they'd like to go do. I don't know if we'll be able to do 3 things, but we're gonna try and find at least one special thing to take them to do. Right now, we're looking at a deep sea fishing trip or something like that. So that's kind of what we're planning to try and do. Should be fun.
That was our boy James David. He's not going to be at Anderson County Friday night.
No, I fussed at him for not coming. He didn't have a ride to get here last night, and I fussed at him. He said, well, it's convenient. You fuss at me when I'm not there, and then you're not going to let me even stay and do the game Friday night. Are you going to fuss at me for going to the beach? I said no. No, I won't fuss at you. So.
Well, I'm going to assume then that you and him will be tuned in Saturday night there when we make a little trip to Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Boy, you better believe it. You better believe it. I think we've got that game. I think it's going to be a good game.
Arkansas is not a bad football. They are to be undefeated, actually, there, but they're solid.
Yep, they're a good, solid team. I think it's going to be similar to the Oklahoma game. You know, I think it's going to be that. I still think we're going to win by 2 touchdowns. I feel like that's pretty safe. You know, once we get a little bit of momentum, it's like in that Oklahoma game, we were not this explosive, you know, runaway team like we had been in the previous games, but we were very solid and consistent, you know, and I think that's what it's going to be with Arkansas. If they make a mistake, we'll capitalize on it, and I think that'll be the difference in the game, probably.
Well, we've, according to what I saw, we've got like the #1 defensive team in the country, right?
Oh yeah, that's where we create the mistakes.
And hopefully, Nico will he'll get a little more experience there and be able to use his peripheral vision a little bit more to see that pressure coming from his blind side there and hang on to the football.
I think that that intuition to feel the pressure that'll come with age. That'll come with experience, you know.
Well, you know, there at Oklahoma, I forget what they said the noise decibel was there. But
117.
You can't hear yourself think.
No.
You know, much less, you know, the cadence. That's the reason why they do a lot of clapping and stuff there. But yeah, it's that definitely makes it hard on the quarterback there. You can't hear footprints there, somebody running up behind you there for all the noise.
I've been to Arkansas, watched the game. I watched Peyton when he played at Arkansas. We were down there, and it was freezing cold. It was 18 degrees, right? So I was with my friend Tony Capiello, and I said, buddy, I'm freezing to death. He said, yeah, me too. So we decided we were going to go watch it somewhere. All right, so we make our way through the stadium, and I found an Arkansas State trooper. I said, hey, where's a close place we can go watch this game? We're freezing to death. And he said, oh, yeah. He said, about a mile up the road. He said, right off this main road, you'll see it. You can't miss it. I can't remember what it was called, but it was called, it wasn't called like the Hog's Nest or nothing. It was a normal name. And so we rolled in there, and we walked in the door, and I'm serious. It's something like you see in a movie. It's like everybody in that restaurant just shut up and looked because there was not a color orange anywhere. It was like the meeting place for all the Arkansas fans, and they were there. And for a moment, I thought that they were going to rip our heads off. I'm serious. It was just like people quit eating, quit talking, and just stared at us. You know? But it ended up being a fun night. We watched the second half of the game there, and it was they ended up being very friendly people. But yeah, I've been to Arkansas. It's a fun place. Well, the stadium is anyway.
Good deal there. Well, I'm glad you got to experience that there. So you'll be in the condo watching the game. Thursday night.
Yep. I'll be kicked up, feet up on the couch watching the game.
Gosh, you'll. Time you get there and rest a little bit, you'll barely have a little bit of time for the beach.
Oh yeah,
and then it'll be back to the room.
Yeah, we'll get there. We probably won't get there until early Saturday morning, 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'd say. So I'm
assuming there that Trey won't be able to make the trip.
No. I think Trey's going. I think he's going to Fayetteville. He's traveling with the band. So.
Oh, okay then. So he gets to go on this trip.
Yeah, on the bus trips they take the full band. A lot of times on the flight trips they're just going to take the pep band. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good then. He'll get the experience there. It'll be a fun time for him there. I'm sure there.
Yes, sir.
He'll enjoy it there. Well, what do you think of the debate last night?
Oh, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought Vance did a tremendous job. Tremendous job.
Do there, and he really tried hard to be really cordial.
Oh yeah, he was very cordial. Sometimes I thought too much so, but you know what? That's a breath of fresh air in politics these days.
Oh, absolutely is there, for sure there. But yeah, I thought he'd come out on top there.
Well, I mean,
personally.
Look, it's common sense. People can say whatever they want to say. You know, Donald Trump, if he was going to destroy democracy, he'd have done it when he was president in 2017. Kamala Harris, if she was going to fix the economy, she'd do it while she's vice president. She's unable to do it. She's not equipped to do it. She don't have the correct people around her to do it, or they would do it.
Oh, I know it there.
And that's, he kept driving that home.
Everything she's going to do and we're going to do, why are you not already done it?
Well, and he kept driving that home over and over. She opened the borders. They called her the border czar. I didn't. The media didn't. The administration named her the border czar, and she opened the borders. He kept over and over bringing that back and doing it in a very, I don't know, articulate way. It wasn't like he was just ignoring the answers. He answered every question they asked him, but he always was able to weave it around to explain to us and to open the eyes of people that didn't know it that, hey, if they were going to fix it, they could fix it today.
Yeah, if they actually had a plan in place.
Yep. So that's, I think it was a stark difference. I think when they ask Governor Whites about his about lying about his military service, he just basically said, well, I kind of misspoke and I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, that was his answer. I was like, okay, yeah. And even though they said they weren't going to fact check, they tried to fact check, and I thought it was great when Vance said, yeah. Even though you said you weren't going to fact check, you're now trying to act like you fact check. Let me actually tell you the truth about what you just said. And called him down on that. I thought that was good. It was a great debate. I was happy with it.
I know that even when Kamala went to the borders, she's went to the softest places they have there. She's not been where all the real action is, where they're swarming across there.
No.
But, we'll see there. That Burn, I didn't realize there that election day is closing in on us.
Yeah. Going to be the first Tuesday in the month of November, Tuesday the 5th.
Well, I heard Dr. Ayers mention that yesterday.
Yep, he'll be here on that day. So.
Yeah, no kidding there. But anyway, just want to give you a shout there, Ron. I'm glad you enjoyed the Pearl there last night. If you do find out about if it's going to be, if you have to make reservations to get in there or whatever, I know I was talking to one friend of mine. He said, I may take my canoe and go in by water.
You can.
I say it'll be just like Calhoun's on the river, but hey, just go in by boat.
I'm texting Joe as we speak, so when he answers, I'll let you know.
All right, then. You have a good day, buddy.
Thank you, Mike. You too.
Howdy. Bye-bye.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Ask Your Neighbor.
Hey, good morning, Ron. How are you, brother?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Just thought I'd give a quick call in. Happy to hear about the Aspire Park trip there. I'm looking forward to going. We're going there tonight with the county commissioners. I think we're all going to hit it tonight.
It's great, Tracy. Well, you've already got to see part of the park, hadn't you?
Yes, we took a tour before they opened up the restaurant and all that kind of stuff, and took the tour around, and I was blown away. Couldn't believe it.
It's amazing. I was there with Barry and his wife were there too, and we were talking. Barry painted. I don't know. Did you see the sculpture of the girl riding a mountain bike that Joe had made? It's like a 12-foot.
Yes.
They had Barry paint that. They created a color. It's called Aspire Green. It's patented. It's registered as a historical. I don't know, but it's official. It's their color. They own it like Tennessee owns Tennessee Orange. And so they had him paint it. And I didn't go down on the trail to see it, but Barry asked, he was like, where is it? Where did you guys put it? And they were telling him where it was. But they had him paint it 2 different colors that they've got, the official colors of the park. But, man, it's just absolutely beautiful. I don't know how many hours it's going to take to keep that place as manicured as they have it, but it's beautiful.
it's like we have a national park in Anderson County. It's unbelievable.
It's exactly. And being a public-private, people were asking questions like, well, are we allowed to walk? And they were like, this is a public space. You know, you can, because Larry Foster was there, and Larry said, so if I wanted to go and get me some chicken at the restaurant, can I come out here and sit and eat it? And he said, you can bring your own food and sit and eat it. Have a picnic. It's a,
I'm like Foster. I mean, you look at it and you're around it, you feel like you would be out of order not to. It's so nice. You feel like you have to reserve to attend or something, you know. You just can't conceive that you can just show up.
Yeah.
You know.
It's really cool. I told Tracy, I said, we can get in the boat and drive up here. I don't know if they had a place to dock larger boats.
Well, what they said about the boating area over there, and I don't know if you mentioned this already. If you did, I apologize, but where that ramp is on the backside along the river there, that used to be the old, years ago, the coal loading barge facility for coal. Terminal.
No, they did not. That's cool.
I never knew that, Ron. Never knew it in a million years, and they found it on the deeds, I guess, with TVA or something. But that used to be the point of transportation for the coal coming out of the mountains.
Wow.
And they're not going to apparently allow motorized boats to go in there.
Okay.
But I don't know if you can bring your motorized boat up to it.
Well, yeah, the river gets pretty shallow as you get up in that area. So, I don't know that I've been up that far before. When I lived at 502 Riverside on the river, I would go all the way up to the bend where it turned to go over into the industrial park, and I'd just turn the boat off, and it would float me back home. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I could take the pontoon boat up that far, and then, like if I had friends or whatever, we just turn the boat off, and it would float back home. It made for a nice ride, you know?
Yeah.
But you can't go too far. I couldn't go too far up in there because I was worried about it getting shallow.
Well, what do you suggest for food tonight, since you've already been there, done that?
I had the chef's cut sirloin, and it was absolutely great. I don't think I've had a better steak. I can tell you that. It was really, really good. I mean, really good.
Thank you, word.
The waiter said, "Do you need any sauces?" I said, "No, I don't need nothing. It's good."
That's a good steak.
Yeah, that's a good steak. And then I had French fries with mine and coleslaw, and that was great. Tracy had the pork chop, and I was telling Mike, they said that they marinated or they basted it in, I want to say, sweet tea.
Yeah, I heard you say that. That's interesting.
And it was good. It was very good. Everything was good. And the asparagus, she had asparagus.
Joe was kind enough to reschedule for the commission. We had a Tennessee County Commissioners regional meeting. Those meetings have usually been in Knox County. We were able to move it to Anderson County for a change. Had it at the Museum of Appalachia. Went tremendous. We had, I think, 13 commissioners there. So Joe was kind enough to set tonight aside for the commission. I'm hopeful all of us will be able to attend tonight. I think that the ones I talked to were all planning on being there. So Mayor came out and said some words. She had some meetings, and really appreciate her coming to that meeting. And we had probably 8 different counties represented there. We had the Highway Department. We had our Highway Department. Dr. Barrett showed up. Chancellor Brooks showed up. Just had a great turnout, and it was nice to be at the Museum of Appalachia and understand the folks before us who have made things work with the means that they had, and it gives you a fresh perspective when you're thinking about how we should manage our resources and tax dollars. And it just, and Ron, the overall comment I kept hearing from everybody, and the Museum of Appalachia knocked it out of the park, of course, with the food, and it was just phenomenal, and the music, and just. But everyone kept saying, Tracy, it felt like we were home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know, man. That's what what I like. And we've been meeting in Knox County at the historical society down there, and it was nice and stuff. But this just really felt like more at home and the people you represent, and it was just a great event. So, but we're all looking forward tonight to getting to the Aspire Park.
They haven't opened it yet, but Joe himself designed it's called the Flask. It's the bar.
Yes.
It's the bar area called the Flask, and
That's the one upstairs, right?
Yes. And it's swanky. He did it like a 1920s speakeasy kind of thing, and it's really cool. So
it's unbelievable. People are going to be amazed, and I encourage anyone that is just curious to show up when it opens. I think it opens Saturday or
Sunday.
Friday? I can't remember. I think the 6th, maybe Sunday. I don't. But I would encourage anyone, especially locally, go to it and just see it. And what do you think about the fellow with the mask on, the statue that saved all those people in the towers when they were coming down? Did you see that?
Yeah, we saw that, and the bell made partly, the metal from one of the towers. The what do you call it? The Big 7 or the Great 8? I can't remember. The big things out there on the porch, and then 70-some individual aspiring stories about individuals that are out on the trails. We didn't walk the trails, but just looking at those things, the Clinton 12, TVA, the Manhattan Project, all that's documented right there for you. You can stand there and read it off those stones. It's just amazing. You forget what all we have, but he's brought all that together, celebrating all the stuff that we have, and it's just cool. It's a park. If you don't want to eat at the restaurant, you don't have to. Go walk around that park and look at it when it opens Sunday. They've got a dog park, all right? In the dog park, they've got it sectioned off where if the larger dogs, you can separate the smaller dogs from the larger dogs. It's got like a big dog park, then it's got like a medium-sized dog park and a little bitty-sized dog park, and then it's got a dog park if you don't care and let them mingle, then it's got one where they all can run wild. And it's got grass. The grass that he planted, they made sure that it was pet-friendly and it would stand up to pet usage. It's different than the rest of the park's grass. I mean, just things like that. The playground is color-coded so that the I think it's yellow is for like toddler age kids, and then the green is for, I don't know, and then the red is for teenagers, whatever. But so they've got it color coded so you can, if you got a toddler, this is all the stuff that's kind of geared to them, and this is their area. It's just cool. I mean, who would have thought to do that? You just throw up a playground.
When you walk into that, Aspire Point or whatever it's called there, where the structure is, the statue, the spire, I guess it is, with the light shining up, we've all seen. But when you walk in, as you say, Joe and Brenda doesn't miss a detail. They made it to where Tennessee was the one you walked in first, which I thought was cool.
It is. I'm speechless because you just got to see it. David West said something one time, and this is kind of the same thing. He said, "Have you ever tried to explain what the ocean looks like to somebody?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, but when they see it, your explanation is nothing compared to what you're seeing. There aren't
great analogy.
And that's kind of what it's like. I can't explain it to you. You just need to see it. It's a combination of paying tribute to our country. It's meant, Joe got up and said a few words last night. He was like, everybody has someone in their life that inspired them, that pushed them, and that his whole park is to encourage and lift up people by looking at what these other people did, to inspire you to do something great, to be better than you think you can. He's even got a room in there for the kids, very similar to what he did with Junior Achievement. He built the whole Junior Achievement town. Joe built that. Did that for us. And he's got a room upstairs in the restaurant that's just like that. it's got all these different characters. You pick your character, and then you go around the room, and like it asks you what you want to do. And at the end of the events there in that little room, it's got a recording booth, right? It's got a full mirror thing. You walk in, and you tell what you're inspired to be, what you want to do, what, you go around and you some of the stations, you tell what's holding you back from doing what you want to do. And it's electronic. I don't know how it answers back, but you communicate with it. But then you go in, and at the end of it, you go in if you want to, and you can record, and they're gonna with permission, they'll attach it to social media, or they won't, but then they're going to beam it. Are you ready for this? They're going to beam that into space. They've got lasers that come off the top of the spire that are never ending. They travel forever, right? And they can send audio, video, data via that laser into space. So these aspirations of these youngsters are going to be not just recorded over time, they're going to be sent through space. I thought, man, who thinks of that? That's cool.
That is cool.
Well, yeah, it's go see it, enjoy it. If you see Joe out, tell him thank you. It's just a tremendous gift to give. And I don't know if you heard me, but they built it so it will last at least 100 years. The wood, the rock, the stuff that they used was all built with that 100-year plan, and it's funded for 100 years.
That's amazing.
that's more than amazing. To me, that's unfathomable. It's beyond me. But what an amazing gift to give to your community. I was talking. Joe said he'd been planning this for 40 years, and I can go back 20. I can go back further than that. I can go back to, since at least 2008, I know, because I sat down with Joe 2008 and looked at the design for that park. It was a lot different then. That's what me and him were talking about, because when I ran for mayor, that was one of the things he was trying to do. He wanted to build that park and then turn it over to the city. And the city said no, because they said they couldn't afford to keep it up. And Joe, I'll never forget, he says, that's like saying you don't want a Cadillac because you don't want to pay for the gas, And they said, that's exactly right. We don't. And so that's when he made the decision, okay, I'm going to do this. I'll figure this out. I'm going to completely change it, because then it was going to be baseball, soccer, football fields, that's where he would. So when they decided that they didn't want his gift, he changed it to be an active passive park, and he did what he wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's amazing. I'm glad it worked out.
Well, I called him one time. I was down there in Cartersville, Georgia, at a sport event. I don't remember if it was basketball or volleyball, one of the kids or whatever, but I was so impressed with the facility and just thought, man, this would be great to have in Anderson County, and I called him and we talked about it a little bit, but I am so glad maybe there's another use for that type of sporting project later, but I am so happy Joe decided to go this direction, because it encompasses all people, whatever, kids and older, whatever you want to do, ride bikes. I mean, that BMX track back there, and it's just amazing. People got to go see it.
He hired 9 different designers, and then he told them they were going to compete with each other to build the best trail. So you've got 9 different designs, 9 different trails from 9 different trail architects. So it's different. Each one has its own personality based on the guy that did it. The light show, the laser light show that they have there on the spire is one of only 3 in the world. There's only 3 of those in the entire world, that technology that they're using. And so, I mean, that's how exclusive it is. They've already, shods that you drive through up on the Smokies baseball field at Christmas time, the Christmas light?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's going to be in Aspire Park this year, and it's going to be a walkthrough.
Oh, my goodness. That's awesome.
And Red Bull designed one of the I don't know if it was it's the trail. It's one of the mountain bike trails. Red Bull, they actually came in and designed it exactly the way they want it so they can host their international competitions there. So Red Bull did that. They did one of the trails, one of the designs was from the people at Red Bull.
I'm looking forward to it tonight, and I'm going to try to kidnap the boss.
Yep.
And take her with me.
Yeah, she'll love it. You'll love it. He's even got a signature drink called the Pearl. I think it has. They were talking about it. 5 different flavors of vodka and a splash of Sprite. It's his signature drink. And it's just everything that I hope it met. I hope it's everything Joe wanted it to be, because, man, from the outside looking in, I don't know what else.
I don't know how. I mean, but knowing Joe, he can always. That's just Joe. He can always find something a little better, a little more, and that's just Joe, and I love him for that.
Right.
But from my perspective, I don't know how it can be any better. I mean, when we took a little tour, just a handful of commissioners, when we went through, and chairman and all this, we all kept looking at each other. Man, this is, because when you drive by from the road, you just see a building, you see fields, you see some stuff, but you don't really have a concept until you go in and you start going, wow, this is unbelievable.
Well, when they start explaining to you the precision that they used in picking the stones and the grass, the type of grass. We had to have this type of grass for your pets and this type. They're going to do a controlled burn. I can't remember what the tall grass is, but they're going to do a controlled burn of that, and then next year it will come back so much more flush. I mean, it's still beautiful. I didn't know. They said, well, it's not really done the way we want it to because of the drought, so we're going to do this. I was like, it looks good to me. I can't tell. Yeah.
You're like me.
Yeah. But it's impressive. And again, it's free. People kept asking questions. Well, if we want to have a picnic, they said, this is a park. It's an open public park. Now, if you want to have a wedding here or something like that, you can rent spaces. You can rent spaces inside or outside. You can, there's tons of places for corporate meetings. And they said that if you wanted to reserve one of the meeting rooms, hurry, because it's already full. They've already got like a waiting, it's booked out for an extended period of time. So they're already, it's already catching on and hadn't even opened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I could see it being booked for a long time into the future. Yeah. Absolutely.
It's cool. I'm tickled, as you can tell. I'm excited. I
appreciate you talking about it. It's got me fired up for tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
And I enjoyed listening. You know what? When people have wealth like that, and I don't know too many people that do, but I just can't imagine anybody being any kinder or any nicer and more complimentary of his friends and the people in the community and doing what he's doing. They have done this now for 2 weeks where they're bringing 2 and 3 groups a day in. Like they did last week, they did lunch. They brought in 2 groups a day and did lunch, and then they would go talk to everybody about it. And then they're doing 2 groups a day this week for dinner. And before that, they were bringing people in. But there's no idea what it costs, because they say order anything you want, order as much as you want, drink all you want, anything you want, take it home with you, have dessert. I mean, and just I enjoyed listening to Joe speak about his ideas for how it came about, and it's just inspiring. If most of the time you think of people that are that wealthy, they're isolated, they're in a mansion somewhere, they're constantly, I don't see that people of that caliber that give so much back like Joe has. And I know a lot of people don't like Joe for whatever reason. Usually it's because of reasons that aren't true or whatever. They don't know him. But I'm telling you, you look around this community and this park and everything else that he's done, just mind-blowing to me.
Joe's heart's in the right spot, and sometimes people like him they're gonna take the arrows for whatever reasons, but I'm certainly thankful he's in our county, and the things him and Brenda have done is tremendous, and I don't second guess anything he's doing. I know it's for the best interest of the people, and that's what God put us here for, is try to make a day better for somebody. And I just think Joe's an asset to us, and I appreciate it. I really do. I know everybody does.
He's got
for those naysayers, just don't go to the park.
Hey, no, for naysayers, go to the park. You will love it. You'll change, and you'll say thank you after you do. They've got bronze.
Yeah, they may change their mind if they actually go.
Yeah, I guarantee they will. When you go and you realize that you have access to this at no cost to you, no taxpayer money to you, it's just a gift. You can't say anything else. Yeah. He's got the bronze statues. They made a bronze statue of him and Brenda and their dogs. It welcomes you to the Pearl, right? And so Brenda came over and was talking to Tracy and I, and she said, "We've named the statues." I said, "Well, you and Joe."
You know, he didn't want those.
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, the fellow that took us around, they did it without telling him, because he made it plain. He did not want anything like that. but the group decided to do it on the side, and I think Brenda may have been in on it a little bit, but I told the fellow, I said, I'm glad y'all did that.
No,
Joe would never approve something like that.
No.
'Cause it's not. Joe would be the first one to tell anybody, it's not about me.
Yep.
It's about all of us.
She said they named him, and I said, "You named him?" She said, "Yeah, we've named him Mr. and Mrs. Humble."
Hey, that's true. That's true.
It was funny, and I encourage everybody to go. It's priced where if you eat at O'Charlie's or you eat at Calhoun's, you can eat at the Pearl. And it's just see what's there. Enjoy the park. Enjoy dinner. Spend some money with Joe.
Yes. Ron, let me, if I could, just a second, I'll get off here and let somebody else call in. If I could talk about the Claxton Volunteer Fire Department golf fundraiser that's going to be Saturday at Centennial Golf Course. It'll start at 12 noon registration. You get to go hit golf balls. It's $100 a player. And even if you're just one player, you don't have to have a team. You can register online at claxtonfire.com and scroll all the way to the bottom, hit the button. We got the online process fixed so you can hit cash at the end. You don't have to have a credit card. You don't have to open up PayPal. Just hit those buttons, and then when you get at the end, hit cash. You pay the day of the tournament. And when everybody comes, we're going to have goodie bags, and appreciate your sponsorship of those goodie bags. Everybody's getting those full. We're going to have goodie bags for every golfer, and we're going to have prizes for all the golfers. And then we're going to have food afterwards. Shotgun start at 1:30, and then we'll be done probably around 5:30. We're going to go right into barbecue and eating and giving out prizes and fellowship, and then Tennessee game don't start at 7:30, so you can hang out there a little bit, or you can go home and watch it. And so we're needing more golfers. I think we're about 49. We could take probably another 40 easy. If anybody wants to golf, like I say, it's $100. We'd love to have you. Like I say, just go to claxtonfire.com or reach out to me, Shannon, or anybody at the Claxton Volunteer Fire Department. And we've had good sponsorship, and appreciate everybody that has stepped up and helped. And all this money, after cost, are going to go directly to the Claxton Volunteer Fire Department. Again, Ron, I think I said this when we was on your show a few weeks ago. I hope we can do this countywide for the volunteer fire departments at some point, get it big enough to help fund. It's important we keep our volunteer fire departments funded to keep our insurance costs lower. When we got qualified men and women, it keeps us in a better spot with insurance rates.
Perfect. Well, I hope you have a big time and a lot of participants. I'll be on the road. No, I'll be at the beach, but have fun and enjoy it. Glad to be part of it.
Thank you for your support and appreciate all you do. Y'all have a good trip to the beach, everybody.
Thank you, Tracy. See you, buddy.
And James David knocked it out of the park. I enjoyed listening to him down there in Houston on the radio.
Man, I was blown away. I mean, he's talked like that to me forever. I have to tell him sometimes, be quiet. I want to hear what the announcers say, James David.
No.
But he did great. He loves it. He got frustrated with me because I got on him a little bit last night. I said, why didn't you go? Why weren't you at the sports show? And he couldn't get a ride there. His mom was taking his brother to therapy, so he couldn't get there. And I said, well, you need to let me know, because that's your job. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, where are you going to take me Friday night, or are we going to the beach? It's okay when you want to go to the beach, Dad. So, he won't be here this Friday.
Listen, the way he announces the game or broadcasts it, whatever you would call it, the way he does it, it makes you feel like you're at the game and you're watching it through him describing it. You can sense the level of frustration, whether it's the line or whatever. But he doesn't criticize anybody, which I liked. And I also appreciate Stair working with him because, he had made a comment, Stair did, and then James David said something, and Stair said, no, this is what I... And he goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, they work. Walt is very patient, and Walt came up the exact same way. He told me, he said, it just reminds me of me at that age with Charlie Phillips. And Charlie is who trained Walt and took him to the ball games and, made sure that he did what he did, taught him about the equipment. And Walt's doing that for my son, and I am so greatly appreciative because there are a lot of guys that are in that business that are real high-strung, a lot of sportscasters, and they want everything precise and perfect for their broadcast, and having a kid banging around in the press box with them is not their ideal. They're constantly frustrated. But Walt is not like that, and again, he came up the same way.
Sound like a kid, though. That's the thing.
Outside of
he is.
Yeah, he's 14, going on 40.
Well,
thank you.
Hats off to the Dragons, and congratulations to the Wildcats. I'm encouraged with the Dragons football team. I think Coach Hammock and the coaches have them going in the right direction, and that's what it's all about. And then Anderson County is doing their thing as normal. And I just want to say quickly as well, Ron, that Anderson County Clinton Dragons volleyball game was phenomenal. Went 5 sets.
Wow.
Anderson County won. They won in the 5th set, but it was just so nice to see everybody together and playing and cheering on the teams. There wasn't nobody arguing or calling each other names, and I appreciate that. And congratulations to the Lady Mavericks for winning. Clinton won it last year at their place, so they served up the dose back to us. But we're blessed, man. We got some great volleyball teams in Anderson County, but I'm just excited. I think a lot of good things going on in our county, so I'm happy for it.
I'm glad that we've got the rivalry reestablished without the hatefulness now. I think we're going to be able to.
Me too.
Because it got bad.
We don't need no hate. We need to look. You win. Congratulations.
Yep.
We don't need to be mad because somebody did this or said that, or just go out and play the game, have fun, support each other, love each other, and it'll all be all right.
Well, and Tim Elrod, he's doing our sports talk now, and you don't get a bigger maverick than Tim.
No, you don't.
He's a big Anderson County boy.
Gary Terry actually at the volleyball game said, "You gonna be there Friday night?" And embarrassingly, I said, well, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, the football game." I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "We're gonna do it right, Tracy. We're gonna have some fireworks." And I said, "Well, that sounds cool, man." So we're gonna be packaging these goodie bags for the golf tournament Friday night. But if I can get over there, I'm certainly going to try to get over there and cheer on everybody.
Well, I'm glad that cooler heads have prevailed. I think taking that little bit of time off, a year or two off, not playing, and coming back with the kids and let them play the game, but all the tomfoolery stay out. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I've always been a big proponent of sportsmanship and help. It's okay to win. It's fine, but help each other out. We don't need to, try to murder each other or tear each other apart.
Yeah.
It's not part of the game, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree. All right, buddy. Enjoy your golf.
Thank you, brother. Y'all have a good time down there at the beach.
Thank you, Tracy. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye. When George Bowles here with the Shriners. He said something, and Tracy's talking about sportsmanship and helping each other, and he was talking about something that one of the organizations he's with is a Catholic-based organization, and he said the men speak to each other, and they have a saying, and it is, life is short, death is near. Live for today, do something good. Do good. As life is short, death is near. And that's true for us all. So while we're here, now, there aren't too many of us out there going to be able to leave such a positive mark like Mr. Hollingsworth has left. But, you can open the door for somebody, and you can be kind, and you can make somebody's day at that moment. And I encourage you guys to try and do it. I try to live by the things that I talk about. I fail miserably many times. We all do. But if you start with the right attitude, I think it goes a long way. So do that. Try to help out somebody. Try to do something kind for somebody. Open the door. Let them out in traffic. Let them have the parking spot. Take the buggy and put it back in the buggy rack if they don't. Just do something nice. It doesn't cost you anything. And you never know whose day, life, whatever you might change, just that small act of kindness. Have a great day. Have a fantastic day. I'll be back here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, tomorrow. David can't be here tomorrow. He's going to be at the doctor. But I'm going to have Gary and Johanna Whitley up here with me. Two of the sweetest, nicest people you will ever meet. And we're going to be talking about, First Baptist Church is once again putting on RAM. And it's a huge undertaking. I helped with two of them. I was deeply involved in two of the events that we did at the church. And it's an astronomical undertaking to get the physicians and the eye doctors and the dentists, to get them together. And then you have 1,000 people, and they'll start showing up the night before. It's a big deal, and it's a lot of work. So they're going to come and talk about that. It's scheduled, I think, for the weekend. It's in November. I think they're going to probably talk about needing some volunteers, maybe fundraising for it. It's an expensive thing. If I remember it, the church we raised, I think we raised something like $50,000 is what it cost to put it on. That was the second time. I wasn't part of the finances the first time, but the second time we did a radiothon, and helped raise some money in that, but it's a very expensive thing to put on. So, again, another great thing someone's doing for our community, and it's RAM. And if there are folks out there, you don't have insurance, or you need eyeglasses, or maybe you have insurance, but it doesn't include dental. I mean, there's a lot of people. My insurance don't include dental. Yeah. My insurance sucks, and it's not good insurance. I'm just telling you. I don't know if there is good insurance anymore unless you're employed with the government. The state has good insurance, but I'm telling you, for the money that I pay for insurance, you would think that I'm made out of gold when they have to work on something. But if you don't have insurance, or maybe you do and it doesn't cover vision, or it doesn't cover, you can go to these RAM events. They'll make you glasses on the spot. Send you home with them. They'll work on your teeth. Yeah. So they're going to come up and talk about that. We'll get all the nuts and bolts of it and whatever their needs are, and we'll see if we can help meet some of those, or we'll just get everybody up to date on what's going on. I'm sure I'll be able to get Johanna to talk about some of the things going on at the church as well. Tell you about that, things that are going on at First Baptist Church here in Clinton. So please tune in tomorrow. Listen in, call your friends and neighbors. If you're watching on Facebook or wherever, thank you. Yesterday, I don't know, people were asking what was going on Facebook because they took us off. I don't know. Brad don't know. We looked, we asked, we don't know. So he said that Facebook has some kind of algorithm, and they'll just turn it off sometimes if they maybe Dr. Ayers said something they didn't like. I don't know. I have no idea. But we're on there today. I just checked. We're We're on there on Facebook Live. Just go, if you're not already a follower of the WYSH AM 1380 page on Facebook, if you'll do that and leave your notifications on, when Trading Time comes on or whatever, it'll send you notifications. Hey, if you want to watch, click here. All you got to do is take your little phone, click, and there we are. Wide, bright-eyed, and bushy-tailed. So tell your friends, neighbors, and be sure to listen in for Trading Time Prime Time tonight. Join Melissa tonight. Wait, it's Wednesday. David will be here tonight. And in Trading Time tomorrow, you guys get geared up. Monday, I mean, we were wall-to-wall calls, right? Yesterday and today, it was like 1 or 2 calls, then we'd wait a little while, 1 or 2 calls, and we'd wait a little while, and then, sporadic. I don't know what makes Monday or what one day more better than the other one, but I encourage you to listen to and use Trading Time. We'll be here tomorrow morning about 9:05, 9:07, we get started off, and we'll sell your stuff. Maybe we've just been so successful at it that we've sold everybody's stuff. I don't know. I know I've got quite a bit, and one of these days, I keep threatening it, I'll come in with a list, and when you guys don't call, it'll just be Sell Ron Stuff Show. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12, or listen live online at WYSH.